Once upon a time, in a small town on the outskirts of Lagos, there lived a man named Samuel. He was not rich, he didn't have a car or a big house, but he had something more important: his daughter, Tara. Samuel's wife died during childbirth, leaving him alone to raise their baby. He was only 28 then, and everything changed overnight. He stopped hanging out with his friends. He gave up on his dream of traveling abroad to work. He became father and mother to baby Tara. At first, people in the neighborhood supported him. They would say things like, Samuel is really trying, oh. But after a while, they got tired. Some even started to gossip. Which man is doing all this washing and cleaning? He should find another wife, Jare. But Samuel didn't care. All he wanted was to give his daughter a good life. He worked as a tailor during the day, and at night he took home extra sewing to make more money. Every kobo he made was for Tara. When she was sick, he would carry her on his back to the health center. When she cried at night, he would sing to her, even though he had no voice for singing. Tara grew up well. She was smart, beautiful, and respectful. In school, she was always top of her class. Samuel would attend every PTA meeting, even though the other parents looked at him funny. By the time Tara was in SS1, Samuel had started to save for her university. He had a small box under his bed where he put a little money every week. Life was not easy, but it was peaceful, until the day everything changed. It was a Tuesday. Samuel was working in his shop when he got a call from Tara's school. They told him she had collapsed during morning assembly. He dropped everything and ran. His heart beat fast as he took a bike to school. When he got there, Tara was already in school clinic. Eyes closed, her face pale. The nurse was fanning her, and the principal looked worried. They rushed her to the general hospital. For hours, Samuel waited outside, praying and crying quietly. Finally, a doctor came out and said, "We need to talk." The doctor told him something no parent ever wants to hear. Tara was drugged. The doctor said, "We need to run some tests, but from what we've seen, it wasn't from anything she ate. It was likely given to her by someone." Samuel's legs went weak. "Drugged?" he whispered. The news spread like fire in their town. People started talking. So all this man's suffering was for nothing? Maybe he was too soft with the girl. He raised her alone, no mother. Some blamed Samuel directly. If he had married again, maybe the girl would have had a mother to guide her. Samuel was broken. He couldn't believe how quickly the same people who once praised him were now blaming him for something he didn't even understand. But he didn't give up. He stayed by Tara's bedside every day, feeding her, praying for her, holding her hand, even though she didn't wake up for days. On the 5th day, Tara opened her eyes. Samuel was asleep in the hospital chair beside her when she felt her fingers twitch. He opened his eyes and saw her staring weakly at the ceiling. "My baby," he said, jumping up. "Tara, can you hear me?" She nodded slowly. Her lips were dry. "Daddy," she whispered. Samuel held her hand tightly, tears rushing to his eyes. "You are awake. Thank God. Thank you, God." But Tara's eyes started to water too. "I am sorry," she said, her voice barely there. Samuel sat down beside her. No, don't say sorry. You've done nothing wrong." Tara looked at him and whispered, "It was Daniel from school." Samuel froze. "Daniel?" She nodded again. "He gave me a drink, said it was malt. I didn't know." Her voice trailed off. She was too weak to say more, but that was enough. Samuel felt anger rise inside him, like a fire he couldn't put out. That evening in the hospital, after Tara whispered Daniel's name, Samuel sat by her side, unable to sleep. The memory of Daniel, his confident smile, the way he used to wave casually outside the school gates, flashed through Samuel's mind again and again. He had thought the boy was harmless, friendly, just another schoolmate. But the truth was darker. A few days later, after Tara regained more strength, Samuel sat beside her gently and asked, "Tara, I know it's hard, but you can tell me what happened. From the beginning, please." She looked down at her fingers, twisting them nervously. Her voice trembled, but she spoke. "It all started small, harmless, I thought." She paused. "I met Daniel in JS3. He was popular, funny. Everyone liked him. At first, he was just friendly, helped me carry my books, gave me sweets, joked around. He said I was different. Said I wasn't like the other girls." Samuel clenched his jaw, but stayed quiet. "Then one day, he gave me a drink after school, said it was malt. I didn't want to take it, but he laughed and said, 'Haha, it's not poison, huh?' So I took a few sips." She stopped and swallowed hard. "That day, I got home and slept for hours. I missed dinner. I just thought I was tired from school. I didn't think much of it." Samuel's heart dropped. "You didn't feel sick?" "No, just dizzy. And it kept happening. He'd give me drinks sometimes, on Fridays mostly. Said it was his Friday treats for me. I didn't think he'd ever want to harm me. I trusted him." Samuel looked away, his eyes burning with tears. "There was one day," Tara whispered, her voice cracking. "I woke up in the school sickbay. I had no memory of what happened after break time. My skirt felt wrong, like it had been pulled. I asked the nurse what happened, and she just said I fainted. But something inside me felt off." She covered her face. "I wanted to tell you, Daddy. I really did. But I didn't even know what to say. I thought maybe I was imagining things. I thought I was going mad." Samuel reached for her hand and held it tightly. "You're not mad. You're not imagining anything," she continued. The last time, the day I collapsed, he gave me the drink again. But this time, I started feeling dizzy right after the first sip. I told him I didn't feel okay. He laughed again and said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." Tears streamed down her face now. I don't remember anything else. I just remember waking up here. Samuel held her. His chest rose and fell as he tried to keep from breaking. How could no one have noticed? How could a boy like that walk around smiling, pretending to be kind, while doing something so evil? The next day, Samuel went straight to the school. He demanded answers. He told the principal everything Tara had said. The school nurse was questioned. Some of Tara's classmates were called in. Slowly, pieces of the puzzle started coming together. A few girls admitted that Daniel often brought drinks to school. He would offer some to certain girls, always in private. One girl even confessed that she once saw Tara asleep in a classroom alone with Daniel nearby, but didn't think much of it. That girl cried as she spoke. "I'm sorry. I didn't know. The case shook the whole town. Parents were shocked. Teachers were ashamed. Some even started speaking out about how Daniel's family had used money in the past to silence issues. But this time, the silence was broken. The community was in shock. Suddenly, the same people who had blamed Samuel started changing their tune. "Ah, that man is strong, oh. See how he stood by his daughter. Some fathers would have thrown her away." But the damage had already been done. Samuel had heard every word when they were mocking him. He had seen the judgment in their eyes. Now the truth had come out. They wanted to pretend. But Samuel was not seeking praises. Tara stayed in the hospital for 2 more weeks. Slowly, she got stronger, but something in her changed. She stopped talking as much. She didn't smile like before. She would stare at the window for long hours, quiet and still. Samuel noticed. One evening, he sat beside her on the hospital bed. "Tara," he said softly, "I know everything feels different now, but I need you to know something." She looked at him with tired eyes. "You are not to blame. What happened to you is not your fault, and I don't care what anyone says. I am proud of you. I will always be proud of you." Tara's lips quivered. She leaned forward and hugged him tightly. "Thank you, Daddy," she whispered. "Thank you for not leaving me." Samuel held her close, tears falling down his cheek again. "Never. I will never leave you." Tara came back home after 3 weeks in the hospital. Neighbors peeked from behind their windows as Samuel walked beside her, holding her hand like she was made of glass. The house was quiet. Everything was still in place. Her school books on the table, her old slippers by the door, and a tiny photo of her mother by the window. Samuel had kept everything just the way she left it. The first few days were hard. Tara didn't want to go outside. She barely touched her phone. Samuel didn't force her. He cooked her favorite meals. He bought her oranges from the market. and even found her old teddy bear from when she was 5. One evening, she sat on the floor beside him and asked, "Daddy, will I ever feel normal again?" Samuel looked at her and said, "Tara, feeling normal takes time, but you're not alone. I am here. I've always been here." They sat in silence after that, just listening to the night sound. Somewhere outside, a generator hummed and a baby cried in the distance, but inside there was peace. Eventually, Tara agreed to start therapy. The hospital connected them to a small support group in the city for girls who had been through similar things. At first, Samuel wasn't sure. He didn't know how to feel about strangers hearing their story. But one day, after a long session, Tara came out smiling. Not a full smile, but something close. "I met a girl who went through the same thing," she told him. "She's okay now. She even started her own hair business." Samuel nodded. "You'll be okay too." Meanwhile, back in the community, whispers continued. Some people avoided them. Others acted overly nice, offering gifts, greeting loudly, trying to show support now that the truth had come out. One afternoon, Samuel was walking to the market when he overheard 2 women talking. That's the man whose daughter was drugged, right? He tried, sha. But still, e no good make pikin dey grow without mother." Samuel didn't stop to argue. He had heard enough opinions, but that night, he sat by Tara's bed and told her, "People will always talk. Whether you succeed or fail, they will find something to say. What matters is what we know inside us." She nodded slowly. "So what do we do now, Daddy?" He smiled. "That you're strong, that I am proud, and that we don't owe anyone an explanation." But their journey didn't end there. Weeks later, the school invited Samuel to a parents' forum. They wanted him to speak about what happened, how he handled it, and what other parents could learn. At first, he said no. "I am not a speaker," he told the principal. "I am just a tailor and a father." But Tara held his hand and said, "Daddy, maybe someone else would listen and do something different to protect your own daughter. Maybe they'll stop blaming people like you." Samuel looked at her. Now braver than before, he agreed. The day of the event, he wore his cleanest shirt, one Tara had helped him iron. He stood in front of a small crowd of parents and teachers. His voice shook at first, but he spoke anyway. He told them how hard it was to raise a child alone, how people judged him, how they blamed him. But he also told them how important it was to listen to their children, to be present, to trust them, and to stand by them even when things go wrong. When he finished, the room was quiet. Then someone clapped. Then more people joined. By the end, everyone was on their feet. But Samuel wasn't proud because of the clapping. He was proud because Tara, sitting in the front row, was smiling again. A few months passed. Life didn't magically become easy, but things got better slowly. Tara started painting. One day, Samuel came home from the shop and found her sitting in the backyard with a brush in her hand and paper all around her. "I don't know why," she said, "but painting helps me breathe." Samuel smiled. "Then paint, my daughter. Paint and breathe." Soon, her paintings filled the house. She started posting them online, and strangers began to admire her work. She even got invited to display some at the youth exhibition in town. Samuel was there that day, standing proudly beside her like he always had, quiet, firm, unshaken. As for Daniel, his family tried to move him to another school again, but this time it didn't work. Tyra's case was different. The media had picked it up, and people were angry. Petitions were signed, a proper investigation was launched. Daniel was expelled and later taken to juvenile court. It wasn't revenge, it was justice. Tyra didn't gloat. She didn't celebrate. She simply said, "I just hope no other girl goes through what I did." Samuel nodded, "Amen." One evening, they sat outside their house watching the sky darken. "Daddy," Tyra said, "if Mom were alive, do you think things would have been easier?" Samuel thought for a moment. "Maybe, but I also know you would not be who you are now, and I will never have known how much I could fight for someone I love." Tyra leaned on his shoulder. "Thank you for not giving up." He smiled. "Thank you for surviving." This story is more than just pain or survival. It shines a light on something our society forgets: the silent strength of single fathers. We've heard many stories about single mothers, and they deserve their flowers. But what about single fathers like Samuel? The ones who stay, the ones who sacrifice, the ones who raise children with love and tears, yet never celebrated. Society rarely claps for them. Instead, they face judgment, suspicion, or pity. Samuel's story reminds us that fatherhood is not just about providing money. It's about being present, listening, and standing by your child no matter the storm. This story also teaches us how crucial communication is between parents and children. No matter how close you are, always keep the door open. Make your kids feel safe enough to talk. Don't just ask, "How was school?" Ask, "Are you okay? Is anyone bothering you? Do you feel safe?" Because sometimes the signs are there, but silence hides them. We must also teach our children, especially teenagers, not to accept open drinks from anyone, no matter how friendly the person may seem. The world has changed. Dangers hide behind sweet words and charming faces. They must be vigilant, cautious, and wise. And lastly, this story is a reminder to stop judging single parents. You don't know what they're carrying. Many are battling silently, giving all that they have and still feeling like it's not enough. What they need is support, not side comments or blame. Single parenting, whether by choice, loss, or circumstance, is never easy. But with love, communication, and strength, it is possible to raise strong, kind, and resilient children. Let us learn, let us care, let us stop judging and start supporting. Please like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more educative and inspiring stories and myths. Until next time, This is Folktales by Fayoke, where history comes alive.